Dustin Poirier opened up on the never-ending Islam Makhachev vs. Khabib Nurmagomedov debate, giving rare insight as the only man to share the octagon with both lightweight greats. Speaking at the UFC 322 Q&A, the Diamond reflected on the tense moments he had against each, nearly catching Khabib in a tight guillotine at UFC 242, and taking Makhachev into what many believed was a 2-2 fight heading into round 5 at UFC 302. Now retired after his emotional farewell against Max Holloway, Poirier explained that although both men were molded by Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, their grappling feels very different. Khabib's pressure is non-stop and smothering, while Makhachev is more calculated, technical, and positionally sharp. As Makhachev prepares to face Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322, entering as a strong -285 favorite with a chance to become a rare two-division champion, fans around the world are watching to see whether he can further close the legacy gap with his mentor. Poirier added that Khabib's style felt like drowning under constant pressure, never giving him a second to reset, while Makhachev's approach was more patient and methodical, slowly improving position before attacking. He noted that Islam mixes his striking and grappling more naturally, making his transitions harder to read compared to Khabib's relentless chain wrestling. Despite losing to both, Poirier praised their dominance and said the debate ultimately comes down to preference, unstoppable force versus technical precision. With Islam now chasing two-division greatness against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322, Poirier believes the outcome could push the conversation in a whole new direction as the Dagestani champion attempts to build a legacy that stands alongside, or even above, Khabib's. Poirier also reflected on how both fighters carried the mentality of Dagestan's hard training culture, but expressed that Islam feels more modern in his approach, adapting to opponents in real time rather than relying on pure pressure like Khabib. He recalled moments in the cage when Makhachev would subtly change grips, shift his hips, or bait reactions, small details that made escaping nearly impossible. Poirier emphasized that while Khabib overwhelmed him physically, Islam outthought him in key sequences, especially during scrambles. Ultimately, Poirier said fans should appreciate how rare it is that two fighters from the same team dominated a division this completely, and with Islam now on the verge of making history at UFC 322, the lightweight GOAT debate may only get louder from here. Poirier went on to say that the biggest difference he felt was the kind of danger each man created. Khabib breaks you with pace and pressure until there's nowhere left to go, while Islam shuts you down with timing, balance, and smarter positioning. He explained that against Khabib, every second felt like survival, but against Makhachev, every mistake felt like a trap being sprung. Poirier credited both fighters for being incredibly disciplined and mentally sharp, praising the Nurmagomedov team for producing champions who stay composed even in momentum swings. And as Islam prepares for his welterweight title challenge at UFC 322, Poirier believes the outcome could be a defining moment, one that either cements Islam as the true successor to Khabib, or sparks even more debate about who the greatest lightweight product of Dagestan truly is. Thanks for watching.